If you like the content, man, like, share, subscribe, drop your boy a comment. You know, I really appreciate it. Help me run this thing up to $1 million, to 1 million subscribers, where I can make $1 million, so I can continue to make this content, man. And really, I like helping people. You know, if I can find a way to where this content is paying for itself and helping my family survive, man, I'll be doing a lot of stuff like this for free. I even sell my popcorn for free, man, especially for kids, man. I really got a big heart with helping people, but as you know, everything costs in this world at the moment. So if I can find a niche, you know, to where I could just be my personality and what I actually do in making that niche, I can give it away for free, I would definitely do it. I would definitely do it. Y'all, the hustle don't stop. I gotta do some brakes on this 2021 Nissan Rogue. We gonna do some fronts and some backs, and I'm gonna take y'all on this journey with me as we do these brakes. We gotta get this thing up off the ground first. I think I'm gonna do these fronts first. We're gonna do them front to back. Bust out these fronts, get this thing up off the ground, get that wheel off, and see what we working with. It's not gonna be an in-depth video. It's just, I'm gonna just glance over each step that I'm doing. So don't expect a in-depth. Just gonna be a glance over of each step I take. We got the tire off. We got this side jacked up. I wanted to jack it up from the front, so I only have to jack it up once. But of course, it's all plastic up front, and they don't give you nowhere to jack this car up front. So you got to go side to side. So that means I'm going to have to jack this car up on all four corners individually, as opposed to just jacking it up in the front. Put my jack stands on there, because it's always safety first when using a jack. Never just depend on the jack. Always have your jack stand in case the car fall down or the jack fall down. You don't want to get squashed up under this thing. But that's my rant about that. Now we about to get this brake caliper off. And that bad boy a little warm. So we're gonna get this caliper off, look at these brakes, slap them new brakes back on there, and move on to the next side. Keep this show on the road. I'm gonna show y'all what the old brake pads look like once I get them off. All right, we got the old brake pads for this driver front driver old, front driver new, old new. I'm gonna get a wire brush. I'm gonna clean all this dust and grime up, and then we gotta press this piston in with a little tool I got that's just gonna put pressure and press that piston in and make room for that new material on those brake pads. Alright, simple job so far. Throw that tool right there on there, press that piston in and slap them in. After I grease them, of course, too. Gotta slap a little grease on them too. I'm gonna show y'all what that look like in 3, 2, got one pad in, got it greased. I gotta put that back one on. That's what that little tool look like that can press that piston. See, that piston was sticking out. Put that little tool on it, ratchet it down, it pushes back in, gives me more room to work with. Alright, it's going pretty good so far. So far, so good. We'll have this thing slapped back together in no time. Move on to the next side. Move on to that passenger side. Brake job made easy. That's what it looked like with the new pads, greased up. These right here, is one up top right here, and there's one down bottom. That's a guide pin. That's what your brakes move back and forth on, like that, on that little guide pin. I didn't show that on camera, but I took these off and I greased the inside of this pin, so it moves a lot easier. You see that motion back and forth? Those are your guide pins. Make sure you grease those as well. Alright, we're gonna slap this tire on. Even with trying to record and do it at the same time, it was still maybe 10 minutes at most. And now that I got a lay of the land, that next side should go a lot quicker. That passenger side is gonna be exactly like this side, so I'm not gonna film it unless something out of the ordinary comes up. So next time I get back with y'all, I'm gonna be working on the rear. But we're not gonna do the passenger, just this driver, because it's gonna be the exact same thing, just opposite sides. All right, y'all, I think it's very important I show y'all this. I'm on the rear passenger. I was gonna start recording once I got to the rear driver because I wanted to do this rear passenger first, just to try to figure out what I'm doing. So basically, these cars have an electric parking brake, and this is the electric parking brake motor. Now, if you go to the dealership, they got a scan tool that will release this electric parking brake. You can put it in service mode. I don't have that scan tool, so what I had to do, I had to remove the electric parking brake, right? And then take this Allen key right here and basically turn the brake manually. The electric parking brake goes into there, a little shaft drives this little gear, whatever, and that's what controls the electric parking brake. So I had to take the electric parking brake off, put it in here, and turn it manually as I squeeze the piston to release that parking brake. Since I don't have that scan tool that'll do it, it's all electric, it's all electronics, which sucks. But now I see why she was having a problem back here with the brakes. Remember, on the fronts, I told y'all these is your guide pins, and your guide pin should slide easily. Look, that guide pin is stuck, it's frozen, so it's not fully releasing the rear brake because it's stuck. So you look at this one, this the top one I just greased up, that one moves freely, but this one was stuck as well, and I had to come in here, clean it up, and I had to grease it. Then you go back to this one won't even spin, and it won't even slide back and forth, and I'm putting a good amount of pressure on it. This one right here, it turns freely now and it slides. So both of these pins were frozen shut, which was causing the brakes pretty much to stay somewhat engaged because the brakes were not releasing that pressure. And if you look at the brake pad, look at the lip. I don't know if that's coming through on camera, but the brake pad should be a flat surface. But if you look over here to the left, you see that lip from the brakes being stuck in the on position. And it done roll a groove into that brake pad, and that brake pad is not flat. So this is what I've been dealing with. And like I said, I was gonna get with y'all when I got to the other side, when I had a good idea of what I was doing. But now I got a good idea and a good understanding of what I was doing. But I definitely wanted to show y'all these guides. These guides are very important. A lot of people skip those when they do brakes. They never remove these guides and grease up these guides. They're very important. All right, let's finish up this job. This the last side, the rear driver's side. Okay, these rear brakes I wouldn't say they've been a big pain, but they have been a pain in the butt because of that electric parking brake. But one thing I want to cover, y'all, is if you don't have a impact driver like this, an impact driver to take off your lug nuts, always make sure you loosen these before you jack the car up off the ground. Because if you jack the car up off the ground and get a jack stand up under it and your wheels off the ground, when you start to turn, your wheel will turn. You don't got that pressure. You need the weight of the vehicle to keep that wheel from turning before you start loosening them. But if you got an impact, you can go in and jack it up and put that impact in. Like that. Alright. The impact make life a whole lot easier when it comes to getting these lug nuts off. I'll get back with y'all in 3, 2, 1 once I get this tire off and show y'all what we working. Okay, let's see, can we focus here? So this that electric parking brake motor that we have to get off before we can get the caliper off to get to the brake pads. So I'm finna work on taking this off. It's 2 hex bolts, one here and one on the other side that you can't see, one here and one on the opposite side, that you take off, and basically this motor just pops right out, and then it has a little electrical connection. And then we'll use another hex to start turning the motor to release it, and then this caliper will pop off and we'll be down to the brake pads. Okay, We got those 2 little screws out. Got the motor out. Hold. That's the gear that drives the motor. Hold for the screws. Gear drives the motor. Motor's out. All right. Now we can turn this right here. We turn that. You turn it counterclockwise to loosen. It ain't lefty loosey righty tighty. It's the opposite. So it's lefty tighty righty loosey on this motor. So we turn that, it'll start to release the little piston inside here, and then we'll be able to pull this brake caliper off and get down to the pads. And then of course we got to loosen these as well. I'm trying to just take y'all step by step as best as I can without someone actually sitting holding the phone as I do it. I'm a one-man show today, but I'm trying to help y'all as much as I can if you got to do this job, and hopefully it'll save you some money. We got those 2 big bolts out right there. Big bolts that went on the guides, top, bottom. And I actually turned the little gear to loosen the motor. So now this piston pops out. When you turn that gear, you basically bringing this piston in. You compressing this piston when you turn that gear, and that relieves pressure off the brake pad itself, and which allows that to pop out. Now we're gonna check these pins. As you can see, these pins are frozen tight. Check this bottom one, frozen tight. So we're gonna have to remove those and grease those up and get that piston on the way in, and we'll get this thing slapped back together. All right, it's actually not that bad once you know what you're doing with this. But if you never messed with it, you just used to doing brakes on 1990 vehicles, it will be a little disconcerting. But if you find this video, hopefully this video will help you out. Look at these pads, y'all. See, can I get one out? Uh-oh, got one out. Okay. We having the same issue over here with these pads. Look, that little lip, the pad's not flat. Got that little lip in it from rubbing. That's not good. Not good at all. So it looked just like that other side over there. So this was way past due. Way past due. Alright. I'll get with y'all when I'm putting it all back together. All right, one more point I want to make when you're working on these. You got to have something to squeeze that piston as you turn that piece right there. As you turn the little gear drive in there, you got to have something to squeeze to put pressure. It don't take a whole bunch of pressure, but you got to have something to press it in as it release pressure from that motor. And I'm just using some oil filter pliers, but any big set of pliers will do. So as you can see, I got the piston pressed in, but you gotta spin that as you apply pressure. You can't just apply pressure and it'll go in. It will not. You gotta turn it as you put pressure. All right, y'all, got everything greased up. And by the way, I'm using this ceramic brake part lubricant. I think I bought it on Amazon for like 12 bucks, 10, 12 bucks. I got these pins freed up. You can see, moves freely. That's what you want to see. This top one moves freely. That's what you want to see. You want to see that moving freely. I got the brake pads greased up. Wherever anything makes contact is where you put grease. And that'll keep down your noise. I got the caliper greased up. All right, she ready to go back together. I just got one hand, so I'm gonna try to one hand this bad boy, see what I got. All right, can you see? Shit, I can't see. Talking about can't you see? I can't see. All right, got that caliper on there. Got the caliper on there. Trying to make this contact, man. Make this content. Y'all subscribe, man, so YouTube can start paying me for this hard work, man. I respect anybody out there making content. and working at the same time. If you working and making content, man, I respect you, because it is not as easy as they may make it seem. And by the way, I'm putting these bolts in to the guide pins up here. All right, we're gonna get those secured. And then once we get those secured, we're gonna screw down that motor, that emergency brake motor. Then we'll put the actual motor back in place. There go a lady walking her dogs. I think she got a dog in the stroller too. She actually walking a dog and stroller in the dog. All right, got that on. All right, now we gotta tighten that motor back down. I'm using this right here to tighten that motor down, a little hex. It says CRV7, and it fits perfect into that little hole back here. I can't see what I'm doing, but it fits perfect. And remember, this is the opposite, so this is lefty tighty. So you want to tighten it down. Okay, about right there. Okay, now we're ready to slap that motor back in place. All right, man, I wish I had somebody come hold this camera. Who want to apprentice? Who want to be my apprentice, my Padawan? All right, got that. I think I got it lined up. We about to find out. Let's try to get a screw in. I think I got it lined up. Can you see what's going on? I can't see what's going on. All right, got a screw. All right. I think I got a thread going. All right, y'all get the point. I'm gonna do that. This screw, get that other screw in. Tighten these down. Plug in the connector right here. Plug in this connector. Put the tire back on, and we good to go. So I'll show y'all the finished product, and I take it on a test drive. Take it on this maiden voyage. Hope everything works. All right, y'all. She back together. Here go the final product of the old brakes. The front ones, the rear ones. The front ones, the rear ones. The rear ones were really bad, y'all. Pretty much no material. They were uneven got that little lip. So hopefully that fixed her squeaking problem. And she got another, hopefully she can get another 30,000, maybe 40,000 miles out of these new pads on there. And I saved her some money. Hopefully I can save you some money. I'm gonna make one long video of this whole project, and then I'm gonna put out a video of just working on those rears, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people run into that issue. I still got the hood open because I'm gonna service her AC. AC is not blowing cold, so I gotta look into that. But you can find any video on that, you know. And as y'all know, the hustle don't stop. If you like the content, man, like, share, subscribe. Drop your boy a comment, you know. I really appreciate it. Help me run this thing up to $1 million, to 1 million subscribers, where I can make $1 million, so I can continue to make this content, man. And really, I like helping people. You know, if I can find a way to where this content is paying for itself and helping my family survive, man, I'll be doing a lot of stuff like this for free. I even sell my popcorn for free, man, especially for kids, man. I really got a big heart with helping people. But as you know, everything costing is real at the moment. So if I can find a niche, you know, to where I could just be my personality and what I actually do in making that niche, I can give it away for free, I would definitely do it. I would definitely do it, y'all. So this the hustle, man. The hustle don't stop. Peace.